Oh, hey. Right on time. We got a good one today. Thunderbolts is the latest film from Marvel Studios and the next chapter in Phase 6 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or the MCU. Now look, it's no secret that over the last couple of years, fans and moviegoers alike have discovered that Marvel Studios is in fact human, because, they've had some hit and misses now. Whereas prior to, 2020, i.e. the Infinity Saga, they didn't miss a beat. They were firing on all cylinders, and everything they put out was good or great. Now, after being kind of disappointed by Captain America Brave New World earlier this year, I went into Thunderbolts hopeful, but also guarded and wise. Given the premise of what this particular Marvel movie is about and the freedom of the story, I thought to myself, hey, this very well could be the movie that helps Marvel get its groove back. And I'm happy to say Thunderbolts is that movie. It is. Oh, what a kick-ass and fun movie this was.
Not Earth's mightiest heroes.
No.
We are the Thunderbolts!
This movie is a literal hodgepodge of intersecting storylines that are stemming from the journeys of several smaller characters from some more recent Marvel outings. These mostly consist of side characters, sidekicks, and some pseudo-villains as well. The film stars Florence Pugh as Yelena and David Harbour as Alexia, the Red Guardian. They are both the sister and father of the late Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow, rest in peace. We also have Wyatt Russell, returning as the tragically misguided hero John Walker. Now, if you watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier, you know who he is and what brought him here. Hannah John Kamen returns as Ava Starr, also known as Ghost, who we have not seen since she was the antagonist in 2018's Ant-Man and the Wasp. The sheer fact that this movie does not star Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, or any of the prominent heroes in Marvel is precisely what gives it its power to take risks and be gutsy. This is not a movie that's trying to impress you. This is a confidently made movie that knows exactly what it's doing. It was nice. It felt refreshing. This kind of reminded me of how the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie was kind of received back when it came out. It kind of took us all by surprise because a lot of people really had never even heard of the Guardians of the Galaxy prior to that first movie coming out. So they were able to kind of just take some big leaps and some risks and just try some stuff with that film and just go for it. And it worked. And look, now everybody loves the Guardians. Now, this film does not measure up to that level of that first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, but I tell you, it really had that kind of old style sense of camaraderie that we'd been missing for a long time in the MCU. This ragtag group of smaller and lesser known characters all get thrown into the fray together, and they all have good chemistry with one another. And even though there's not really a central main character, it's really Florence Pugh who leads the charge here as Yelena. She has very quickly expanded her resume as an actress within the last 6 years or so, and Yelena has been getting stronger and stronger a character, and she takes charge on this one. She's a star, for sure. Alongside her is David Harbour, who is absolutely hilarious as Alexia, or the Red Guardian, a scene stealer in every sense. I can definitely tell he's enjoying his time being in the MCU. Sebastian Stan, of course, is back as Bucky, bringing his confidence and charisma. He is really the anchor point that holds this film in place, just with his presence alone. I will admit, it's also nice to see Wyatt Russell back as John Walker. It's nice to see the John Walker character back, continuing the next stage of his journey. I personally was kind of glad that they didn't, despite what happened in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, they didn't make a complete mockery of his character. They at least left it open to continue his journey, possibly later on, which we get to see here. Also joining us is Ghost, from Ant-Man and the Wasp. Now, personally, I was a really big fan of that character, Ava Starr, from Ant-Man and the Wasp. I thought she was a good character with some good motivation. I was excited to see her back in this movie, but, sadly, she's a bit underutilized here. While she gets to do a lot of kick-ass things, and she has great chemistry with her co-stars here, she just never really gets that moment where she gets to shine and stand out and we connect with her on a deeper level. I mean, I did think she was good in the movie, and she fit in well with everyone and everything that was going on, and she was very funny too, but I don't know, she just never got to have that moment though, which was slightly disappointing. Of course, the same could also be said for Taskmaster. Speaking of which, they did her dirty. Yeah, I won't get into that now, but if you know, you know. This film, and the Thunderbolts in general, have been compared to DC's Suicide Squad, in that the Suicide Squad consists of a ragtag group of sidekicks and criminals who, do dirty work for a corrupt government official. That's what they are. And while all that is true, the Thunderbolts film reaches a depth and goes places that Suicide Squad never could. This film has an underlying theme of mental health awareness and the importance of such issues. It addresses them carefully, but in a way that's cohesive to the story. The darkest moments of Thunderbolts cleverly explore the dark depths of trauma and how it directly affects our psyche. The way in which they depict that, and the way in which all the characters come together in those particular moments, is what really makes the movie pay off emotionally. There's heart in this movie. There's care. It's made with care. I haven't connected to a Marvel film like this probably since Spider-Man No Way Home or Guardians of the Galaxy 3, if I had to guess. One thing I will say, though, is I actually kind of wish the movie had been a little longer. Yes, I really think this movie needed to actually be about 15-20 minutes longer, just so they could have taken a little more time to let a few more things develop and kind of, flesh out a little bit more. They were trying to do quite a bit in this movie. They were bringing all these characters back in together and trying to cover a lot of ground, and for the most part, it really worked, but I just kind of wish they would have taken a little more time to give us some more meat and, just let things stew for a little longer. And, anyway, it's just a tad little nitpick, but I really do think, though, that this is the movie that's going to put things back on track for Marvel. I know they've had a rough couple of years with, COVID, and then they had to shift things around when they unexpectedly had to, sever ties with Jonathan Majors after they'd been building him up as Kang the Conqueror and getting that storyline going. Then they had to shift things over to the Doctor Doom storyline and get that whole side universe set up, and it's been a whole thing. And then there was the strike as well in 2022, but I'm hopeful now. I am. I'm sure it comes as no surprise that this movie sets up Fantastic Four beautifully, and I can't wait for that, which comes out in July. Then, of course, we have Avengers Doomsday next year, where RDJ will be making his big return. I really liked Thunderbolts, guys. I really did. It wasn't perfect, of course, but, man, it was a kick-ass fun thrill ride, and the most enjoyable Marvel film we've gotten in quite some time. I'm going to give Thunderbolts a solid 8 out of 10. Thank you all so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Olga Curly.